first of all, let's talk about the structure of speaking, part 2. So as you know, in part 2, a cue card is given, a task order cue card is given, and you need to talk about something. Of course, you need to give some details and talk about something. First of all, you have time to think about it. If you want, you can make notes, and after that, you start talking. Okay. Well, and now, how to answer. First of all, let's talk about it, how to answer actually a part 2 question, okay? To talk about an object, you need to pay attention to some things, okay? First of all, the questions that are given and are written on your cue card, so you need to pay attention. Your answer should include all questions, so that's really important. Of course, some students ask me if we need to answer them in order. No, it's something like there is not a rule that you have to answer the questions one by one in order, but you need to answer all them. Okay, so that's really important. And of course, you will have 1 minute to prepare what you're going to say. So in 1 minute, you need to make notes, read it, and you won't ask for paraphrasing or getting help from examiner, because of course, you've already have a cue card, so you're not allowed to ask for paraphrase or asking question. So this is a rule that you need to know. So first of all, you need to read the question topic, very carefully. That's really important. Okay. So actually, one of the most common mistake is, candidates speak off topic or they don't answer. So the answer is not related to the topic. So they talk about something else, or maybe they don't answer all questions. So this is the most common mistake, And you need to identify the category, the tense, what tense you're going to use. Of course, as I told you, A is really important. We are and GRA, so we are vocabulary resource, and GRA, grammar range and accuracy. Grammar range means avoid using only present time or only past time. Try to actually use them, maybe different tenses, maybe two tenses, past and present. Okay, so you need to identify the category and the tense. And of course, after that, so I decide, okay, so I have 1 minute, so I decided whether, this tense is an appropriate one to talk about this subject, okay? And the most important thing, your answer should be natural. Avoid using complicated words and phrases. So the most important, if you want to get band 9, that's really, really important to talk naturally. Some people think that, okay, we need to use some complicated words in order to show our ability to speak, but no, it's not really, not at all. It's not really good idea. Okay, well, now I'm going to write a topic. So let me write a topic on the board. I'm sharing the board, so just give me a moment. Okay, suppose this is your cue card and we're going to talk about it. Okay, so I write it, then we'll talk about it. Okay, so let's get started with part 2. Okay, you need to describe your your friend's illness or injury experience. Okay, and you should say, what was it? When did it happen? And how did you or your friend handle it? Okay, so just let me write it on the board. Okay.
Can I have time to take? Okay.
Of course.
Can I take my notebook in the time you're writing?
Of course, of course.
And now I have 1 minute to think
Of
about.
course, yes.
When it's enough 1 minute, can you tell me?
Okay, so you have a few seconds and then you can get started. Okay, let's get started.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. Today I would like to share to you about an experience that I have experienced uh, a couple years ago on my left knee. It was a very terrible injury on my left knee when I was playing basketball at my school. And I didn't remember exactly what the time is, but it's about a couple years ago. And when I was when my knee was broken, I didn't know that it was extremely serious, and I tried to play, and I say to myself that it's not problem, it's just a normal injury. And then after 3 months, I have like I haven't like I couldn't walk anymore. And then um, the injury was like need to have an operation. And yes, and I had an operation in a very big hospital. It's a private hospital, so I believe in the doctor there, and they take care of me very well. And after about 3 or 4 months, that's I like 3 or 4 months in the hospital. My knees was completely perfectly recovered, and then I came back to play basketball. And to talk about this experience, I think that it was a very bad experience for me because I have to um, just stay on the bed in a long time, and I can't play. I couldn't play any sports, and I as a person who would like to be fit and to stay safe, this was like a nightmare for me. And it's also my mistake. It was also my mistake because I didn't realize it as soon as possible and get it worse. And is it enough? 2 minutes, teacher.
yes, okay. So, let me explain you. Let me talk about some points. Okay. First of all, you get started. Actually, I just wrote here. Okay, you said, let me say, I would like to say to you, I
Yes.
know totally wrong because we don't say, okay? We say that, if you want to use to, you just say to, you tell you. If you want to use you, object pronoun. So I would like to tell you. Okay, so but I would like to talk about that is, the better one. So I would like to talk about an accident or something like this. Okay, and the second thing,
Sure.
let me ask you. Okay, so you had actually something like an accident, and of course you're, I want to know if you had ruptures and bruises or no. Let me say,
Uh,
because these two words, when you're talking especially about, when, for example, you discover that, for example, you have, I don't know, you've had broke your bones, okay? You can say that, for example, I had some ruptures. It means break, rupture, break, breaking bone, okay, or something like this. And another one, bruise. So you know that bruise and rupture. So you're gonna mention them. For example, something like, it happens to me, and for example, I discovered that, I don't know, I had broke bones, several ruptures, something like break, and many, I don't know, cuts, bruises, or something like this, because you're going to explain something, an accident, and just, you didn't explain how you feel. So that's really important. I say in the hospital, at the hospital. When you say, when you are in the hospital, you are physically in the hospital. So it's okay. And at the hospital, for example, I work at the hospital. So not physically at that time, but you generally are in the place. So in the hospital and at the hospital. And how could you come over? How could you come over, deal with that actually issue successfully? You couldn't explain, and it wasn't your mistake. So it's something like, maybe it was my fault, you know,
yes.
something like fault, okay, something like this, and just this. So the last part is not answered. So, how you feel about it now. So when you think about this accident, so you didn't explain, you need to
It's
add, yes.
I I have said that it's a nightmare for me, and
Ah,
it's
so
so
it was, say
upsetting.
it was, or okay, so it's how you feel now. It was a nightmare. It was, that's really important. As I told you, category and time tense. Look at the, the third part. As you can see, look and say, how do you feel about now? Okay, it is a nightmare. You can say it's a nightmare. It was something that happened in the past. So it was a nightmare. It's okay. But, you know, when you want to talk about now, now, when I think about it, of course, it was really maybe difficult and horrible, maybe accident or something like this, and it can be, it was really horrible experience. But I could actually, when I think about it, there, I find some, maybe, I don't know, positive point aspects, that is, I could stay home, I could, for example, rest. And I now, when I think about that accident and experience, actually, I know how careful I should be to avoid actually, for example, happening something like this again. Okay?
Yeah.
So you need to talk about now. You can't say it's a nightmare. When you say it's a nightmare, it's something happened and finished. Now you need to talk about your feeling, emotion now. Okay?
Yes.
Good. Very good. Well,
Uh,
yes, say.
is, is there any synonym of of rupture?
Of course, fracture, you can say. Breakdown, fracture, or break, fracture, all them. So you can say break, something like this. But rupture is something like more advanced, okay? But if you want to use a synonym, you can say break, okay? Or for example, burst. Yeah, another synonym. Okay, so you can use all them. Okay,
Yeah.
crack, for example. All of them are synonyms, but instead of break or fracture or for example burst, so you can, it's something like this is a general word for all of them. You don't mention a special thing, just totally, you generally, you think about actually break. Okay,
Yes.
Good. And well, so let's keep going with the next part. Okay. Now let me open the book. I think we have speaking part 2 here. I'm gonna focus on it. That's really important. Just, okay. Part 2.
A teacher can
Yes,
have
yes.
a question. It's like you have said that when I say I would like, and I need to say I would like to talk about, right?
Ah, you can say I would like to tell you, but it's not really formal. You know, as I told you, IELTS language is formal language. So it's better to would like to talk about something, you know,
Yes.
but you can say I would like to say. I would like, for example, to describe. So you can say all of them, it's okay. But okay, if I can find it, let me check the next one. Just give me a moment to find another sample for part 2. Okay. History, okay, architecture and speaking part 2 again. Okay, part 2. Well, here. Okay, yes. So let me ask you, look at this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, describe someone whose creative or artistic work, and you know, we talked about art, architecture, so you know the words and idioms. I want you to talk about it. So describe someone whose creative or artistic work you like. You should say what you know about the life of this person, what kind of creative work this person does or did, and why you like his or her work, and describe the way his or her work makes you feel. Okay, so think about it. You have 1 minute, and after that, yeah,
Wait. Yeah, I need to, yes, okay.
of course you have time, no worries. So
Is it an up 1 minute, teacher?
yeah, it's okay. So you know, just don't think about time. Now we are practicing, so it's okay. Just let's get started when you're ready. That's really important to be sure that you actually are ready to start, so it's okay to begin, so it's okay. Don't think about it.
But teacher, is the next today I will have time limit, so I need to practice in time limits.
I know. So I will give you a sample, not now. Now I'm trying to teach you after that. Okay, so it's okay, no worries. Okay, just so let's get started.
Today, I would like to talk about um, very well-known singer in America. This singer name is Taylor Swift, and she was born in America in 1989. Now she's still alive and famous as a greatest um, woman singer in the world, and she had she has a lot of um, famous songs such as Lovers, Style, and so on. And her her work is producing songs with with the topic of love and yes, almost love. And I like about her MVs, her songs, because when I listen to her song, they can help me to learn English, and it's also the effort of me to to improve my English, and maybe in the future I would like to go abroad to meet her one day. And when I just look at her new MVs, it look incredible, and it make me feel like I would like to be a singer like her, and I would like to make some fantastic MV, maybe more than her. And this also my dream in the future.
Yeah. Okay, well, and do you want to continue or finish?
I think it's finished
It's
because
on. Yeah.
this is the first time I have write about talk about this topic. So I
Yeah. Okay, well, so first of all, so of course you talked about today was not good word. So not usable, please remove it. Today it is not a lecture. You are going to answer, so it's not, time is not important here today, tonight, now. Okay, so just I would like to talk about. So actually a symbol of actually you can say performing art, because as I told you before, I don't know if you are if you remember or no, we have different types of art. So some of them is performing that includes dancing, music, and film. So Taylor Swift can be a really good sample, a symbol of successful person in performing arts. Okay, so that's really important to yes,
can you write on the
of
board?
course, of course. Performing art. So, music, dance, and film. They are included in performing art. So if you want to talk about each of them, you can mention this, okay? And of course, her work, he's a great, fantastic singer, songwriter, producer. Okay, so you say something like this, singer, maybe musician, songwriter. Okay, so something like this. Okay, so you don't say her work is, it's not good to say. And there's really talented, intelligent. Okay, so you can say something like this, intelligent. Let's
Uh,
use, and yes, say.
it's like when I say performing art, how can I make up a sentence, teacher?
What? Okay. So performing, as I told you, you can say, I would like to talk about actually a symbol, a very successful singer who I think who is, a symbol of success in performing arts. A very successful, creative, intelligent singer. So you can see I could use this performing art here so that I want to show my ability that I can use some actually other words, of course, not complicated. And yes.
Could you
Yeah.
repeat this
Yeah,
sentence again?
of course, of course. I would like to talk about a very successful, creative, talented, intelligent. I'm giving you some actually alternatives, so you can use each of them, so it's okay. Taylor Swift, that who I think is a very actually good and successful symbol for performing art.
Yeah.
So very good. She is very good singer, songwriter, composer, musician. It can play some different instruments. She can play different instruments, and of course, I can say that I haven't been, here, I want to say something like this though. If you write this part, you didn't use any different time tenses. That is really important to use. Not only one, of course, you use just present tense. It's not enough. So you can say, I haven't been. So, okay, so let's talk about your experience. If you have been in her concert, unfortunately, I haven't been, but for example, when I watch her concert on TV or, for example, other social platforms, actually it's something like they're really, they blow my mind, they blow my mind and they take my breath away. So take my breath away. It's something really impressive. Let me write. I write, just
Yes.
don't. Yeah. So you can use maybe one or two idioms that's really good to use. So for example, you can say it, I don't know, takes my breath away. It means something is really impressive. It is impressive. So because you said impressive, but it's better to use. And once I saw one of actually her performances, and it was bowled over. It was bowled over, for example, by, I don't know, something is what it was really impressed, something like this. Or you can say, as I told you, it blew my mind. Again, when something is amazing, it means it was amazing. So
Yeah.
these two are better, okay? So, like this. Okay, for example, you can say, I was bowled over by her performance. I said it, no, sorry, I say okay. So you can say, I was bowled over by her performance. It means I was really impressed by her, for example, performance. It means I was really impressed. So you can use these idioms, okay? And well, so let me say something. So the problem, the issue about this part, okay? Uh, of course, when you want to talk about maybe something, of course, you need to have some information about it. That's really important. But the most important thing, as I told you, don't avoid using only one time tense. It's not really, maybe it's good, but it's not enough. So maybe you can boost your score if you use different tenses. And don't forget about, answer all the questions. You didn't answer all the questions. And, let me say something. When I say answer all the questions, I don't say equally. Two lines, two lines, two lines. No. Maybe you have more about one question, so you talk about it more. Then another question about one question, you don't have actually a lot to say, so maybe just one line, just you mention, okay?
Yeah.
So, for example, You said something. You said, okay, this is the first time that I'm talking about this topic.
Yeah.
Yes, good. Why don't say this to examiner? Why don't say this, but in this way? Well, it's very interesting question, and I haven't taught much about it. I haven't taught much about it. To be honest, so to be honest, I haven't thought about it. So you can say something like this. Let me write on the board. So you can, actually, I want to say something that is really important. Of course, your answer, you need to answer all the questions. This is, okay, the first step. But when I have nothing to say, nothing springs to my mind. So let me explain it, and this can boost my score
Yeah.
because I have ability to talk about everything. So I can say, well, it's a very interesting question. Okay, so this is okay. Well, it's very for example, interesting questions, and I haven't. Okay, I haven't thought much about it. So, and then you can give your answer. Okay, and now it's time to make your answer. And this is actually a trick, maybe. Okay, a tip. You can, save time here. For example, okay, I had 1 minute. Bye. I need more than 1 minute. So when I'm saying it, it's a very interesting question, but I haven't thought much about it. Actually, I'm taking time. Now I can think about it, and then you can give your answer. Okay? Well, so, okay. Let me ask you another question. Okay. Do you have any question about it?
Mm, can I have time to take out of this?
Of course, of course. But it's really weird today. I can see you and I can understand, if you have question, if you are, I don't know,
Right. Yes, yeah.
listening to me. So, okay.
After this lesson, I will check again my camera.
Yeah, okay.
Teacher, what the meaning of come over? I just forgot it.
Okay. Come over, as I told you, deal with something successfully. For example, you come over an illness, okay? And it means you could deal with, okay, you could deal with recovering from illness. And get over is something else. So for example, you normally get over an illness, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, it means to get better. So you can say get over.
Hmm. Yes. Teacher.
Okay, well, okay, well, so let's keep going. Okay. Okay, now the next part. Well, okay, now I'm going to play actually candidate answer, and I want you to listen carefully. So okay, just give me a moment to open this audio 25. Just listen and try to compare their answer to yours.
Track 25.
The creative person I have chosen is Salvador Dali. I visited the Dali Foundation in Figueres last year, and it made a great impression on me. He was born in Catalonia in Spain. I'm not sure of the exact year, but I think maybe around 1904. And he died in about the late 1980s when he was in his 80s. He was a surrealist painter, so he used symbolism a lot. Um, what that means is in his paintings, things don't look like what they are. One of his most famous paintings is called The Persistence of Memory, and it shows watches or clocks that are very soft, which is supposed to show that time is not as most people understand it. He was fascinated by maths and science, and so am I. So that is one reason why I like him. Another reason is that he was quite unconventional and even eccentric in his behavior. So that makes him an interesting character who was not like other people. The same is true of his art. And what's more, he didn't just stick with painting. Um, Later in his life, he did sculpture and worked on film sets. So, to put it in a nutshell, I like the fact that he was innovative and totally different from others. Oh, and one more thing. The colors in his work are amazing, so they're good to hang on your walls. Not the originals, of course. His work makes me feel proud because he's from my country. From my region, actually. And he brought fame to Catalonia.
Well, okay. So, as you could hear, it was really, I can say, simple, easy, understandable, okay, but it can be considered maybe some new words, some actually advanced word, but not very complicated. So Salvador Dali, okay, Dali, the a painter, and of course every question was answered. So one by one, that's really important to answer them. So this is the way that you can make your answer, okay? Well, do you want me to send this audio? You have it?
No, could you
No,
send
so
my oh teacher, can I have a question? When
of
when I
course.
would when I would like to say that like I just guess somebody do something for me, how can I say it's like can or may?
Would you say again?
It's like I guess somebody to do something for me. It's like just when
Can or may? Okay, it depends. So for example, uh, can you, for example, can you do this please to me, please? May is not usable here. For example, may you open the door to me, please? No, it's not. Can you? Would you mind opening? It's better now. Would you mind opening, for example, would you mind bringing my notebook? Would you mind, for example, talking to a teacher? So something like this, or can. So may is not usable. Yeah. If you have a request.
Yes, and oh, and when I have a request, I need to say can.
Can is better. And can is informal. So could you bring my phone, please? Could you take it, please? So could is better. Now could is used as a formal way to make the request.
And when like for example, just uh, in one lesson in my school, it's like when I say to my foreign teacher like, can I take my book over here? And he just say I don't understand, and
Yeah, yeah.
he
So let
make
me
me
say something. Okay, so what? You said, can I take?
a notebook over here.
Okay, over here. What do you mean?
It's like because it's just far from me a little bit, and I just need to take
So
it.
you need to take it.
Yes.
You need to take it. Can I take my notebook? So why? So can I take it just this? And can I take my notebook? Just this. So over
But,
here doesn't make sense.
but he said that I need to say, may I take my notebook over here?
Okay, so let me say something. Can is used to actually make request, permission. Okay, so different and ability. So we use it to express ability, permission, or request. Okay, so the second one, okay, when you want to make a request or permission, this is permission. Okay, it's not request. You request someone doing something. So I ask someone to do something. Okay, so this is request. But when you ask your teacher if you are allowed to do something, it means you ask for permission. Okay, because of this, of course, can is okay. So of course we use it. Your English teacher is American?
No, he's from Scotland.
So of course, because of this, in the US we use it. So we say can. So can I go out? It's okay. I ask for permission. It's really normal. It's really normal. But may is a bit formal. So we say, may I go out? Is formal. Both of them are totally, completely understandable.
Yeah.
So I don't agree with your teacher about it because, maybe it depends on the area and
Yes.
people, yeah, different countries maybe, but in the US we say can. And if you can, I for example, say over here, you don't need, it doesn't make sense, so you don't need to say it. Just take, can I take my notebook? Just it's okay. Okay, but
Yes.
may is okay. Maybe you can make your request, your actually permission, polite, just this, a bit formal.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
well, and any other question?
No, I think that's all. Yes.
Okay, very good. Wow. So, different, let me say something. Let me give you an example. That's really important. Nowadays, there are lots of, I don't know, widows, English widows, people from different parts of world actually try to share some English content to teach people. So on Instagram, social media, maybe YouTube. Okay, that I see every day. And one of them, let me give you an example. For example,
Yeah.
one actually, one, I think a lady, I don't know, a woman, actually, this girl, this woman, I don't know, maybe, she was teaching something about, for example, if you have a bottle, you don't say, open it. If you have, for example, a can, we don't say open the can. So something like this, okay? And
Yes.
I was like, sometimes I'm really tired. So we say open, and no matter why, they try to teach something that maybe, okay, if you say that's good, perfect, excellent, but if you don't say, no native says, oh, he can't speak English because we say these words. So it's something like there is a structure, but in colloquial daily English conversation, we use lots of words. That's really normal to use them. So it's okay to say can, but it's informal, as I told you. Well, okay, keep going. Okay, well, let's, okay. Another question, another question, another question. Okay, so I think this one can be, okay. Well, describe a visit to an art gallery or museum where you saw artworks or interesting objects. You should say where this place was, what kind of art you saw, and how you felt about the visit. So think about it, 1 minute, and then.
Yes. Teacher, what? But
Yes.
I don't know what is artworks. Artworks.
Artworks, like, painting. Painting, for example, can be artwork, sculpture, artwork.
Yeah. Okay, teacher.
Well, when you're ready, you can get started.
Yes.
Okay.
Today I would like to talk about a like a visit. No. Wait. Teacher, can I do it again?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Today I would like to talk about an occasion that I pay a visit to I know a national museum in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. It's a very big museum with a lot of like some like the historical things in the past and still keep like no. Hmm. Teacher, oh, can I have a question?
Of
It's,
course, yes.
it's like when we talk about something that's something in the past is very precious and then we keep until now. How can we say about it?
Which means, present perfect, since past to the present.
No, it's like the action that we kept we keep a precious things until now.
Would you give me an example? Would you give me an example so that I can understand what you mean?
It's like uh a proof of proof. No, no, it's bones of dinosaur. That can
Yeah.
bones of dinosaurs.
Yeah. Okay. So what you mean? Okay. So I don't get what you mean. What you want to ask me? I don't get what
It's
you
like
mean.
what can we call an action that we keep the bones of dinosaur in the museum?
You mean the ancient people who kept dinosaurs in
No, no,
museum?
the action
Yeah.
action.
Okay. So the action,
Yes, the action
the action of the action
of
of what? Keeping dinosaurs?
no keeping bones of dinosaur in the museum.
Okay, so okay, the action of keeping bones of dinosaurs.
In the museum.
Okay, so what?
How can do we have a word to call about this?
Yeah, you want to say that when you want to say that, for example, some people, for example, keep bones. Okay, so you want to say that actually you see some displays, display of, dinosaur skeleton. So it's something like, I don't know, it's something like, for example, some people, let me say something. Some people, we don't say keep, actually reconstructed, the bones of dinosaurs. This word is a good word. I think it is not something like keeping. They made these, skeletons again. So I think you mean this one. So reconstruction is a good word.
Can you type it for me?
Yeah, of course, of course. So let me say, we say reconstruct. Okay, reconstruct. So some people, for example, reconstructed, the bones and skeleton of dinosaurs in the museum. So which means they made them again. Some, and try to actually, they stop because of maybe studying some prehistoric fossils, so they wanted to actually study some prehistoric fossils, I think you mean.
Reconstruct. Yeah. Thank you, teacher.
Yeah, of course. And prehistoric and fossil, so the word fossil, so you can say something like this. Okay. Okay.
Recon.
So, let me say something else that's good to you. So, if you want to talk about dinosaur, you can say that, for example, in these places, of course, the bones of dinosaurs are stored and researched. Because they keep to store and store to research. So you can say they are stored and researched. So they are investigating, so researching, so something like this. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
We, oh. Oh, teacher, but what is pretend?
Pretend means show. Pretend, it means, for example, show, not real show. Let me say, for example, when you show something, it's true, that is not. For example, I'm showing you that I'm having headache, but I don't. I'm not having headache. I'm just, something like pretending, showing. It's just a playing a role,
It's
So
like
this is
liar.
pretend. Yeah.
It's the same meaning with liar.
Yeah, yeah, of course, somehow. It's something like you pretend. For example, now I'm pretend, for example, to laugh. Just I'm showing like this. I show you. Okay, for example, I pretend that I'm happy. No, I'm really happy. I show you. Maybe I'm not. Okay, so this is the meaning of pretend.
Yes, thank you, teacher.
Okay, you're welcome.
But when we say it pretended to die, and
It means it pretended to die. It means actually it did, it didn't, die really, but pretended. Something like I show you that I'm dead, but I'm not. Get it?
but but when I say about that dinosaur, how can we say that it pretend to die, teacher?
Yeah, let me say something. For example, uh, you want to talk about dinosaurs? Actually, as you know, some animals actually have some tricks, okay, to maybe, I don't know, hunt other animals to eat them. For example, they pretend to die, and after that, for example, they kill and, I don't know, attack all the animals and try to hunt them. So it's something like this, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, what is this?
Yeah. And can I do it again, teacher?
Yeah, of course.
Mm, today, teacher, can you zoom in the question?
Of course, of course.
Today, I would like to talk about uh, an occasion that I have a chance to pay a visit to the National Museum of Vietnam in Ho Chi Minh City, and this was a very big. No, this is a very large museum, which have a lot of prehistoric fossil and lots of precious things in the past that have been reconstructed here. And uh, when I have chance to be when I had chance to be here, I think that it was very boring at the first because as a person who don't like to pay to waste time in museum or in some art gallery, I don't like display. I didn't like display very much, but uh, after I, I saw a piece of spear, a piece of spear of the Sparta. In the past, I was feel that it was really attractive, and I need to pay attention to it more. Yes, and then I
Yeah.
decided to have time to look around the whole museum, and I feel like the history very like I found the history very like interesting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and now uh yes, now my friends, I think that I'm gonna say that my friends who are very the same with me, they don't like art gallery or museum. So I think that I like um, I needn't recommend this place to my friend or suggest them to go here. Be-
Yeah. I needn't, you said?
yes, I needn't.
Okay, I needn't. So I needn't. Okay, well. So first of all, you are not a fan maybe of something like uh, art galleries or museum or maybe something like this. Okay, but as I told you, so it's okay. You can see, but there are some issues. So let me talk about it again. Okay. So as I told you, for example, when you want to talk about the art, okay, No, first of all, okay, maybe, yeah, you are not a big fan, okay, but of course, when you talk about museum, so you can say that I'm not a big fan of visual arts, you know, visual arts like painting, like drawing, like photography. So
Visual
first,
art.
yeah, let me write. So visual arts. So you can say something graffiti, photography. So there are kinds of visual arts. So you can say, actually, yeah. So you are not actually, I don't know, a big fan of maybe visual arts. So actually, uh, and you don't know why. So if you have any reason, you can give this reason. For example, I don't like it because, okay. But sometimes you want to say that, for example, I'm not a big fan of visual arts. You know, I really don't like painting or music and going to museum or something. And I don't know why. Okay, I can't explain why. You can say, you know, I don't like visual arts. I don't like going to museum and something like, you know, somewhere like this, you know, and I don't know why. You can say, I can't put my finger on it. So let me write it here. I can't put my finger on it. So it means I can't explain why. You know, I can't. Okay, so I can't explain why. And of course, I have a friend who has the same idea, so I prefer not to maybe recommend and not to offer actually going, you know, to go to a museum. So something like this, okay? And well, maybe it makes me really, I don't know, bored or something like this. So you can say, you can talk about this. So I prefer not to go to an art exhibition. I don't know, for example, museum, art gallery. So you can art exhibition, art gallery, or something like this. You can say, okay, like you can talk about it. And of course, if you find something amazing, as I
Yeah.
told you, you can use, yeah, some other expression statement, but if no, so it's better, you know, maybe if you have any reason, okay, give, but if you don't, you can use this idiom, it's okay. And you know, just there is a point that I think, you know, as I told you, the problem is with the time tense, you know, that you use, okay?
Yeah.
So I think it's not enough. You know, you only focus on one time tense. So it's something like you're not going to take risk. You know, so this is my comfort zone, present simple, so I use it. Okay, but it's good to use the other tenses. For example, okay, what is, let's have a look. Okay, where this place was. Okay, past. What kind of art you saw. Okay, now not only past, give it to present. Okay, and you know, maybe you can use future. You know, maybe in the future I will get used to, for example, visiting museum, art galleries. You know, of course, I'm trying to, but now, of course, I have no idea about them, so I prefer not to go. Okay, so future, present, past. Let's combine them. For example, okay, will get used to. Good grammar, so structure, so it's not bad to use it. Okay?
Yes.
Wow. And okay, keep going, keep going. Okay. So let me, okay, another one, the last part too. Before we keep going, I want to talk about something because, you know, I suddenly actually, this word, this phrasal verb, come over. Let me explain something because you actually make it confused while using actually this verb, this phrasal verb. Just pay attention. First of all, as you know, let me explain. don't make mistake while making. Okay, let me find somewhere to write. Here is good. Okay, so come over, overcome. So just most of maybe candidate students make make mistake while using these two phrasal verbs. So first of all, let's talk about come over, as I told you, because it has, as I told you before, phrasal verbs can have different meanings and maybe different, I don't know, can mean several things in different actually sentences. So it's we have the same thing about these two verbs. So let me explain so that you won't make mistake while using them. The first one is about come over. Okay, it's a phrasal verb, The first mean and the easiest one, to move. For example, to move from one place to another place. So we use this, okay? Or to move towards someone. I come over you. Okay, so this one. For example, I come over here. So this is the first and the basic one. And but yeah, the second one, as I told you, means recover. Come over something. For example, don't stand up quickly or you may come over dizzy. Okay? So this one, come over. So you can use actually use in different meanings. And overcome is absolutely different. So pay attention. Okay? Overcome means defeat. Okay? Or maybe something like succeed in controlling something. Okay, so please pay attention while using these two verbs and just this. Now, let's keep going. Just may I ask you 1 minute, just 1 minute to go and back?
Yes.
1 minute. Thank you. Okay, let's keep going. Well, so, and now, let me ask you another question. Okay, so the last one. Okay. Wait a minute. Well, so another question that I'm gonna ask you for part 2. Okay, well, so let me find something okay. Let me describe a place near water you have visited. So let me write. Describe a place near water you have visited. So this one. Okay. And you should say. Well, so 1 minute, think about it, and then let's get started.
Yes.
And for this question, you're really lucky because, you live by the coast. As I know, your country, actually has some beaches,
Yeah,
so you can talk
but
about it. Yeah,
but oh, okay, yeah.
of course. Well, if you're ready, you can get started. Let's begin.
Just on. Mm, yes, okay. And today I would like to talk about an occasion that I have a chance to go, uh, like to take a holiday to Nha Trang Beach is yeah because during my during my school time and my dream just is the coming of summer because in the summer I can yes I can have more time to go on a holiday and yeah to go to the Nha Trang beach and there there's a very luxury no it's like there's there is a very luxurious resort here and which name is
Luxurious.
look no it's
Luxury.
adjective
Ah,
so
luxury. So luxury. This is not set. Luxury or luxurious.
look luxurious
Luxury. Yeah.
z z look lux luxurious resort which name is Vinber yeah and when I go to there, I always want to taste all the food in the resort because it's very tender and it's very delicious. And I enjoy like overlooking the beach views and I also have time to bake like no it's like I also have time to be a major boy with by going to the theme park here. And I always went to this Vinberland with my parents, but in the future, definitely I would like to go to there with my girlfriends or my friends. And this is one of the most like attractive play for me because after uh, long period of hard working time. I'm in mood to take a vacation, and this is the destiny that I choose to have a rest time. Yes.
Well, okay, good. Of course, there are some issues. Just let me, I'm doing something. Just give me a moment to finish doing this. Okay. And okay. Just this. Just a moment. Okay, well. So, okay. It's okay now, you have it. Just check this sample answer. I want you to check the sample answer. So, and you can compare it with your answer. So just, you said occasion that you visited, you went or you visited. The first word was occasion.
Occasion.
Yeah, so occasion. So why did you use occasion? You're going to talk about a place. So why did you say occasion?
It's like I have. It's like I say that I would like to talk about an occasion that I have a chance to pay a visit.
Okay, occasion that I have a chance. Okay, so, but occasion means chance.
Oh,
Occasion means chance, of course. Of course, it means, it means time, but maybe it's better to use one. Okay. Maybe opportunity. I'm going to talk about, I would like to tell you about an opportunity, or for example, an occasion that I could, for example, travel, I could visit, I could go. Okay. So one of them. Okay. An occasion that I had a chance. No. Okay.
yes.
Well, so, okay, I just sent a sample answer. You can check it and you can compare with the answer. Just, of course, you can change it if you want to answer, the same question. Well, just we need to skip this part. Just if you have any questions now, you can ask me something related to this. Is there any question that you want to ask me?
Today is very clear.
Okay, that's great. I'm happy to hear that. Okay, just, before taking your test, if you have any questions, anytime, whenever you need, you can ask me. I will check my Skype and I will help you, okay?
Yes. Thank you, teacher.
Okay, very good. Have a great time and see you next session.
Goodbye, teacher. Have a nice.
Goodbye. See you. Thank you. Goodbye.